Champions of Europe finally! History made in Istanbul! The treble complete! The greatest story in club history has ended! And what a final chapter!
Hello and welcome back to another typical City watch-along. Brentford, G-Tech Community Stadium. That's where Manchester City are at right now. I was going to say heading. They're already there. They're there right now waiting to play a football match against Brentford. And I can't wait for this one. Liverpool dropping points, although Arsenal won. But it's game on. It's game on, big time, and Manchester City has got some exciting news as well, breaking news before the game, a signing, which is not official yet, it's not officially gone through, but with Fabrizio Romano saying it's going to happen, it's very likely to happen, so I'll get into that shortly, as well as shutting down some of the toxicity on Twitter, man. I don't really go on that platform. I see myself inevitably having to go on it at some point, but I'm trying to avoid it right now because I'm not a fan of it, in truth, because some of the shite that gets put on that platform because reports were, well, one clown, a supposed City fan, said Jack Grealish walked out of training yesterday early, had an argument with Pep and stormed out. There's no way that happened and he'd be in the squad today. No way that happened. So he's in the squad, so put that to bed, trying to stir the pot before the game, which is the opposite of exciting news, in truth. But with the signing, I'm going to get into that quickly now. Just Savio, for those of you that don't know. Fabrizio Romano reporting that Manchester City have the documents all but signed, basically, and will be signed in the coming days, fending off the attention of German clubs as well as rival English clubs, all for the signature of Savio, and he's on his way to Manchester City. He himself was quoted a while ago while he was at Troyes, currently on loan at Girona, for those of you that don't know, tearing it up in La Liga right now. And those of you that don't know, he was already came out and said Arsenal came in for him while he was at Troyes, but he knew that Girona, and with Troyes as well being in the CFG group, there was a chance that he could climb the ladder and eventually join Manchester City. So his dreams could be coming true. It could be coming true, and we could have a new signing in the summer, which I don't know whether he's going to go back to Girona on loan for another year or whether he's going to be thrown straight into the Manchester City deep end, which incredibly exciting, really exciting. I've been talking about him quite a bit as well lately. I've been going into a little bit of detail about him, those that have followed the channel in the last couple of weeks, really. The transfer news that I've been providing regarding Savio is, I've got nothing but good things to say about him. I mean, I think he looks an incredibly exciting prospect, and I don't think it's a coincidence that he's part of the Girona team that are currently challenging Real Madrid. I don't think that's a coincidence. You know, I think he's a massive cog in the Girona machine right now. So, really interesting. Team news. Let's get back to the game today, because Savio is not a Manchester City player. But, yeah, team news, I've got it in front of me, actually. Manchester City's team news is really exciting as well. That's also equally exciting. With what my preview was all about was, is he going to play Haaland or is he going to play Alvarez? He's going to play both. Stick them both in, why not? Nah, fuck it, throw him in. Why not, Pep? Go for it. But what about De Bruyne? Oh, yeah, stick him in as well. Yeah, why not? Stick De Bruyne in. No problem, mate. Absolutely no problem. Okay, what about Bernardo Silva and Foden? Yeah, them as well. No problem. Bernardo Silva, Foden, get them in there as well. No problem. Fuck you know. This attack is brutal. Absolutely brutal. And it's going to be really interesting to see what Guardiola's role is in this team, because he starting from the back. Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Ake and Guardiola. I imagine Rodri's going to be a single pivot today, unless De Bruyne drops deep, or Bernardo Silva drops deep and Alvarez on the wing, or De Bruyne on the wing. I don't know. I see Rodri as a single pivot, to be honest. I don't want to see De Bruyne drop in deep, maybe in a year or two, but right now, the benefit of Erling Haaland on the pitch is get De Bruyne as close to him as possible. The same with Alvarez. You want people close to Haaland to feed him. You don't want people miles away. I know De Bruyne can ping a long ball, but you want the core of the creativity to be as close to our goal machine as possible. With that being Alvarez and De Bruyne in the team, I feel like they've got to be sat behind him. I imagine Foden's therefore on the left, which is possibly the first time this season I've seen him on the left. What does that mean for Guardiola? Is he going to be a traditional left-back, or is he going to push forward and Phil Foden tuck inside? and therefore that would mean De Bruyne probably drops, because I know Pep likes a box in midfield, and I'm trying to figure out what he's going to do. And I've gone for Bernardo Silva on the right with Haaland up top. That's my, you can see, well, it was on the screen a minute ago, but that's Brentford. In terms of Brentford, I got it man for man in my preview. I predicted Reguilon would get his first Premier League start in a Brentford shirt. He does, replacing Lewis Potter. Mark Flecken in goal, Nathan Collins, Ethan Pinnock, Ben Mee as a back three. Mark Flecken in goal, of course. Mads Rorslev, Matthias Jensen, Christian Norgard, Vitaly Analt, Sergio Reguilon is a midfield with Mads Rorslev and Reguilon being the wing backs. I imagine emphasis on the back today, with a bit of experience needed from both of those players to make a flat back five going up against this City side. And City, Pep clearly knows that with my predicted starting 11 for on this. I keep pointing, it's never there. Is it ever there? It's never there. It's always bloody Brentford. There it is. There it is. With Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, De Bruyne, Foden and Haaland, that's like, okay, you're going to put 5 at the back, we're going to put 5 up front. Do you know what I mean? We'll match you and see how you can handle. Just throw everything at them, knowing full well that they're going to be sitting deep, soaking up pressure as much as possible, and at any opportunity, ping it to Ivan Toney, who is probably, alongside Haaland, as one of the best at bringing a ball down out of the air, plucking it out of the air, bringing it down, and either turning, beating his man with sheer power, bit of skill, or bringing other players into the game. Ivan Toney's one of the best at it in the Premier League. I haven't said hello to anyone, by the way, so I do apologise. Good to see so many of you in the chat already. Scroll my way back up to the top to the people who got in nice and early. Church of the Poisoned Mind. I need to ask you about that name, by the way. It piques my curiosity as to what that means, Church of the Poisoned Mind. But it's a great name. Good to see you, mate. Tackler Pep as well, echoing what I've said. Toney will be a headache for us because our defence this year is so vulnerable. We are conceding on every game, so we have to be 100% focused on the game. Absolutely, mate. I think we've kept a few clean sheets, but I know what you mean. We have been shipping silly goals lately. We conceded a goal against Burnley. That was infuriating. That had clean sheet all over it, didn't it? Danny W is in there. Good to see you, Danny, as well as you, James. Ian, good to see you. Nick Knack, Douglas, Ryan, Sasha, Section 20. Vinny, good to see you, mate. Topaz. Tuganayazu. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, mate. Issa. Lachel Blue, Bubba Mo, Alan. Yeah, good to see you guys. Good to see you as well. All of the... sorry, I'm losing track of the chat here. But yeah, good to see you. Kyle Walker also starts. Captain is thrown back in. I did make a video about him recently as well. So a lot of the topics, the talking points I've been talking about, most of it's coming to fruition in a... Is it? Right. Douglas, cheers for answering that. Church of the Poisoned Mind is an 80s song. See, I was born in the 80s, but I've never heard of that song, mate. Never heard of it. But I'll check it out. I'll check it out. But yeah, Kyle Walker starting, brilliant. I'm pleased about that. I know some people won't be. Some people are not happy with Kyle Walker this year. I think that's a bit harsh. But obviously that puts so much drama to bed. That's the best news about this. It isn't just the individual and the player. It's the circumstances that are surrounding him right now. His personal circumstances would be pushed so hard in the media. That's all we'd hear about. If Pep didn't start him, play him at all against Burnley, to then not play him in this game would have been a real eye-opener for so many people, including the likes of The Sun and all the dregs of the media would be like, typing away. Headlines, Kyle Walker's now not fit to play for Manchester City under Pep Guardiola for his actions off the pitch. Whatever headline you can possibly manufacture surrounding his personal life, crossing over into his footballing life, that would be a big issue. But done, put to bed brilliantly. Love it. So pleased that he's playing in this game because there's no need to talk about it anymore. Personal life, forget it now. Done and dusted. Let's get back to football. Liverpool dropping points yesterday. I was pretty shocked, to be honest. Not just the result, which was shocking. The manner of the defeat. I mean, I think Arsenal surprised me a little bit because they played a lot better than I was expecting them to. That surprised me a little bit, but it was more the manner of Liverpool's performance that surprised me more than anything because they offered nothing. They offered absolutely nothing in that game, and I felt like that's been a long time coming, that sort of performance from Liverpool, because I think they've been papering over cracks in some games where I don't think they've been playing that well. I think recently, I think they wiped the floor with Bournemouth and they played really well against Bournemouth. And they were getting so much praise for beating Bournemouth. And I was thinking, yeah, they did all right. It's Bournemouth at the end of the day. Yeah, Bournemouth were playing well as well. Had some decent form at the time, Bournemouth, but I don't think it was that convincing. People are looking for those teams to make it a Manchester City challenger, basically, to create a closer challenge than what people might fear this could be. Because quietly, I think the rest of the world saw yesterday's result, and a lot of them openly admitted that it was a great day for Manchester City. And although they want to talk about us, and fans ourselves as Manchester City fans, I don't think we talk about... we do talk about those types of results, but the players don't talk about those types of results because they're so focused on themselves. Manchester City know what they have to do. Pep know what they have to do, and all the players will have that same message pushed into their ears day in, day out from Pep Guardiola. It's only us, the fans, that think about things and let's have a look at what the others are doing. Probably from an entertainment factor. I enjoy watching football, so why wouldn't I enjoy watching Liverpool and Arsenal? But looking at the grand scheme of things, I think City players will have looked at that and gone, yeah, well, kind of would have preferred a draw, to be honest, because then they both drop points. But anyway, we've got Brentford tomorrow. That's what they'll have been like. I don't think they'll have been that bothered one way or the other, whether Liverpool win or not. Because regardless of the result yesterday, it was in City's hands. The moment it's not in City's hands is when the players would likely start to shift their focus onto hoping a team loses. Because even if Liverpool won yesterday, it was in our hands because we play Liverpool. We win our games in hand, 2 games in hand. We would have been, I think it would have been 2 points behind them with 2 games in hand. 2 points behind them with all our games played if we'd won that, and then we play them. So we would beat them. If we beat them, it's in our hands effectively. Basically, win all our games, we win the Premier League, regardless of yesterday's result. Yesterday's result doesn't change that. Still, win all our games, win the Premier League. Simple as that. The same can be said about Arsenal, though. I think if they win all their games now, including beating Manchester City, they'll win the Premier League. Liverpool, they win all their games, they win the Premier League. It's made it for a really, really interesting. It really has. Marie, it's good to see you. MJG, window cleaning as well. Hope you're good. Cortez as well. How you doing, mate? You're all right. Teams are out. Game's about to get underway. Really excited. There he is, the Ivan Toney factor. The fear factor for Manchester City. Watch fucking Mope get a hat-trick today, now I've said that. Like, all the focus is on Ivan Toney, and Mope pops up with an absolute worldie of a performance today. Can see it coming. Can we get some fruit emojis? Jeff's asking. How you doing, Jeff? No, I think James was asking for vegetables earlier, if I remember rightly. He wanted to shift the focus today from fruit to veg. I might do a poll as to what people want to talk about today. Do you want to talk about fruit, bramble round your knob, rat infestations, or Manchester City? I imagine most people should be clicking on Manchester City, but you never know. You never know. Game's about to get underway. Alvarez standing above the ball. Just waiting to start the clock. You're nervous. I'm feeling it. And we're off. We're off. Alvarez gets us underway. Come on, Blues. Preferably City, but I'll take some veggie talk. So Haaland up with his first header. Long ball from Edison and he wins it. Ball's knocked over the top. Diaz got to chase that. Gets it into Kyle Walker. Can sense just the movement of these players already. Looks a bit feisty. What was the poll saying, by the way? I've got 2 mice in front of me here. Like actual mice. Not actual mice. Sorry, like mice. Like mice. What's the plural for that? Is that the right plural for when you're talking about the computer version of a mouse? It's not mouses, is it? What was that poll saying anyway? So, majority of you have gone for comfortable City win. 64% comfortable City win tonight. 30% scrappy win. It's all that matters. 4% I'm scared. We're dropping points. And 2% Brentford win. Who's done that? I imagine it's a rival fan. Expose yourselves, those... No, don't expose yourselves. Don't reveal yourselves was the word I was looking for. Don't expose yourselves. Because with Kyle Walker's on the pitch, just to link those. That was a nice segue, wasn't it? A nice segue of talking. Speaking of exposing. But, yeah, knocking it about really well so far, Manchester City. Kyle Walker on the ball. Knob in pants. Doing reasonably well so far, Kyle Walker. All right, I'll stop it now. So let's have a look at what the team lineup is. So De Bruyne is super high. Very much not in defensive mid. Here's Foden been fed down the right side. Tucks it inside to Haaland. No one's there. It's cleared. Long ball over the top for Ivan Toney to chase. And he's got a lot of space to get into here. Nathan Ake's getting across. Guardiola's asking him to go long. Ivan Toney's being shepherded down to the corner flag by Nathan Ake and Guardiola. There's no sign of any Brentford players. But he's got it into Mope. He's got his Ruben Diaz on his back. And Rodri just steps across him like a man pushing a little boy over. And then Rodri's control's been poor. Not cleared at all. Ivan Toney cross. Ruben Diaz making a meal of this, boys. Get it clear. Did really well there. Really good football until Ruben Diaz boots it against Rodri. I mean, you can't really ask Rodri to control a ball like that. Ruben Diaz had the ball, time and space, and he just boots it against Rodri's thigh, which knocks it right back into the danger zone. Ivan Toney gets an opportunity to put another cross in, and it's gone out for a corner. Ruben Diaz shouting, ordering around, some instructions. Corner's about to be whipped in. Reguilon. Left-footed. In it comes. Cleared by Erling Haaland. Big header. Not cleared entirely though, but up and away. Eventually cleared by Phil Foden. Knocks it down the line for De Bruyne to chase. And all the way back to Flecken. Good to see you, Hassan, and I'm glad you're a City fan, mate. Yeah, thanks, Marie. If you could drop a like on the stream, please do, if you've just entered. And subscribe if you're new as well. Kyle Walker, bringing it forward. Foden in the middle. Out to Guardiola. So Foden has tucked inside a little bit, and I think that's therefore going to give Guardiola the licence to push forward down that left-hand side, which I'm not that pleased about, to be honest. I think he's a better defender than he is, and that's been brought into question. His one-on-one defending is what bothers me. I think his instinctual defending is really good. You know, what I'm talking about there is when a cross comes into the box. You know, you've got milliseconds to deal with it. That's instinctual defending. Right place, right time. Kind of like Haaland in the box. That instincts. Here he is, Guardiola on the ball. Good turn. Gets it back to Ake. Last week against Burnley, there was a couple of clearances that he did. Some that were like diving, leaping, bicycle kick type clearances. Like really outstretched, athletic clearances. And there's Guardiola on the ball, giving it away. And here come Brentford. One-on-one with Ake and Ivan Toney, but Ake is going to win that. Already we've seen it given away. Fan Reactions Football Club, go and subscribe to that man. Go and subscribe to that man. He's brilliant. The speed in which he gets his fan reactions up. He's also, by the way, I found out, he's got someone who's trying to crib his channel as well, which is harsh. Someone trying to copycat him. There's another fan reaction channel out there. Not that Jamza. There's another one that's very similarly named, trying to steal all his success. Totally ripped him off. It's not so much the idea not that he's allowed to have competition, isn't he? But at the end of the day, he was also complaining about other things, apparently. So go and show support for the original fan reactions channel. It was a great idea that he's come up with there. He was the original, and yeah, show him some love. He deserves it. Alvarez. Given away, though. Blocked clearance by Bernardo Silva. Throw into Brentford in the Brentford half. But yeah, it's a bit of a cagey first 5 minutes. We could see a record being broken today as well. The most goals ever scored in a Premier League game week, which is a Premier League record, not a Manchester City record. So this could be a record for the entertainment side of things. Oh, City looking a bit sloppy. That's second time now Ruben Diaz has booted the ball against Rodri. and it's gone towards Ederson in a dangerous situation. Lovely ball from Kevin De Bruyne. Has just poked it round the corner. Get it to Kevin De Bruyne, and he's done it. His beautiful ball down the line for De Bruyne to chase. De Bruyne's first time cross straight into the hands of Flecken. Good football though. Good football. Kevin De Bruyne's little poke round the corner to Bernardo Silva. I thought Bernardo Silva didn't see him, but using his peripheral vision there, and he sees the run on the overlap for Kevin De Bruyne. Here comes Bernardo Silva down the right wing. Looks like it's got all the hallmarks of a good game, this. Kevin De Bruyne into the box. Erling Haaland's blocked. It's blocked. Oh, I thought that was it. I was getting giddy. Khalid, mate, really appreciate that, mate. You're a top man. You really are. All the best to you, my friend. Really appreciate that, mate. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so the record for the Premier League goals is we need 4 goals in this game, and the Premier League has broken its record for the most ever goals in one single fixture of game week, like fixtures, 10 games basically, which is pretty impressive, really. I think it's 44. The record's 43, if I remember rightly, something like that. And this game doesn't do boring. This stadium doesn't do boring, because the last 8 games, at the G-Tech Community Stadium have ended in, it's been 4 wins and 4 losses. So Brentford don't do boring. So could hopefully see some goals. So don't expect a draw. Watch it be 0-0 now I've said that. All of that is going to be 0-0. Guardiola going back the wrong way, but gives it into Nathan Ake's feet, back to Ederson. Dinks one, Kyle Walker's got to chase that, and he does really well to keep that in play. Gets it down the line to Bernardo Silva, but it's intercepted by Ben Me. Ben who? Ben you? No, Ben Me. There must be so many bad jokes in training listening to having a name like me. Kevin De Bruyne is driving forward, and it's good defending though in the end, really. De Bruyne there with a... Normally he's quite good with his speed, isn't he? But I think that was Jensen getting back and showing De Bruyne that he's also got a bit of speed. Because he's not slow, De Bruyne, is he? But after that major injury and the fact that he's, 33 now? 32, is he? You know, you're going to lose that yard of speed. But he's never depended on it. That's one thing about De Bruyne. He's never depended on his speed. I mean, for example, the day Kyle Walker loses his speed, you know, the majority of his game is not gone, but a big portion of his ability is gone. You know, what his main attributes are is speed and athleticism and power. If that goes, you know, a lot of players do depend on speed. De Bruyne is not one of them, though, in my opinion. He's the sort of guy that could drop deeper into midfield and be like this deep-lying defensive midfield / ball player, like playmaker from deep. Alvarez, edge of the area, thinking about the shot, has a shot! And it's saved by Flecken. Oh, what an effort that was. An outstretched left hand from Flecken. Hassan, do I think Haaland will win the game? I hope so. Because if he wins, City win. I think that was going to clip the post, mate, mainly. David, some love from the US. Congrats on hitting the 10k. Thanks, mate. Hope you're doing well, David. I saw Ian as well say he's moved to Florida. Hope you're enjoying it, mate. If that was a new move, at least. You might have been there for years. But corner's whipped in. Cleared. Well, not entirely. It's up in the air. Still in the box. Bobbling around. Ben Mee tries another one. Ake's nodding it back in. A bit of head tennis going on. It's landed to Rodri. Edge of the area. Guardiola deflected. Corner ball again. It was bobbling around. Guardiola's infuriated. I thought he thinks that was going in, but hits a Brentford man out for a corner. Thoughts on Alvarez in the midfield? I'm okay with it, to be honest, because I was talking about... having a look at something. No, I mean, it's a potential City penalty. Ruben Diaz has gone down a bit soft here. I missed it. I looked away at the wrong time then. I can't see whether he was clipped or not. I don't think that was a bit soft. Check complete. No penalty. Looked soft at first glance, and Ruben Diaz was a bit of play acting there from Ruben, corner ball from De Bruyne is whipped in and it's cleared by Pinnock. De Bruyne brings it down first. Well, second touch volley cross was a poor one, but Haaland keeps it alive. And Bernardo Silva's cross is poor. Over the head of everybody. Pinnock nearly headed it out for a corner again, but didn't even touch his head. And it wasn't Bernardo Silva's cross, I don't think. I think it might have been Guardiola's. No, it was Bernardo Silva. Just having a look at this potential penalty. It's not a penalty. It's not. He gets a lot of shots, though, doesn't he? He seems to get like 2 or 3 shots a game, Guardiola. He's not afraid of getting forward, is he? And that's courageous. I like that. I just don't think it's his strong point. You know what I mean? He's not even looked like scoring this season. There was that one chance that he brought down. I can't remember who it was against. It might have been Spurs at home. Something like that. Oh, Ivan Toney's been sent away. You're praying for an offside flag here. He's away. Ivan Toney and big save from Edison. Never looked like scoring. Offside flag goes up. Didn't look confident going through then. Edison made it look quite easy, to be honest. But that's going to do good confidence boost for Edison, regardless of whether it's offside or not, because he saved it. How you doing, Douglas? Captain Harris as well. Soul King Jack. How you doing, mate? Got to get 3 points on the board today. It's mad how we haven't played Brentford at all yet. And they did the double over us last season. I know people don't really like talking along. Some people do anyway. People messaged me after my preview saying that we shouldn't be worried about this game because even if they did the double over us last season, history in football, in particular in the Premier League, it does have a funny way of finding its way to repeat itself, doesn't it? History. You only need to look at the Spurs curse that we had. Foden into Haaland, edge of the area, he's on his own, he lays it to Alvarez. Alvarez thinks about the shot, has the shot, big save from Flecken. That's a great save again. Outstretched left hand, bottom corner, that was flying in by the looks of it. Intelligent layoff by Erling Haaland, great effort by Alvarez, that was going in as well. Big save from Flecken to keep it at 0-0. But yeah, no, just because they did the double over us last season that we shouldn't think like that and this means we're going to beat them this season. I think it's something to factor in. Bernardo Silva at the back post, and he's nodded it away. City still got the ball, though, here. Walker's having a shot. Kyle Walker! Oh! Fucking hell, Kyle. What a thunder bastard effort from about 35 yards out. Has an absolute rocket of a shot. And another save from Flecken, and that was flying in. Big save from Flecken again. Jesus, Kyle. He's unleashed one. Unleashed it. Must admit, I'm surprised to not see either Jack Grealish or Doku today. One or the other I was kind of expecting today. I am surprised at that. Neil Maupay's being called over by the referee for tangling with Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz trying to employ that same tactics that he did on Vicario, getting in the way of the goalkeeper to try and disturb him. So far, that keeper, Flecken, doesn't look like much can disturb him because he's pulled off 3 pretty good saves so far. Corner, into the box, punched away by Flecken. Edge of the area is Alvarez. He has to go back. Kyle Walker sprays it out left to Kevin De Bruyne. Whipped in, back post, over everybody's head. It's a poor one from Kevin De Bruyne. I thought he could have taken another touch there because he hadn't controlled it with his first touch. It was still bouncing with his first touch. If he takes another touch, it kills the ball. Easier to cross. And he connects with it just as it sits up. And as it gets sat up, he gets too much underneath it and cross goes over everyone's head. But here's me telling Kevin De Bruyne how to cross a ball. What are you doing, Kevin? Let me show you how it's done, mate. But, yeah, it's been a good performance so far. I think I'm pleased with the energy levels. City look fired up for this game. Brentford look like they are as well, to be honest, but they're struggling to get a foothold in the game because City are just better. With all due respect to Brentford, we're just better than them. And it's they're looking to punch us on the counter-attack. We've seen that already. Edison, lovely. Cool as a cucumber from Edison. Well, Guardiola makes a decent ball from Edison a bad one by taking his time. You've got to be decisive there, Josko. Edison chests it down, Side foot volley over, I think it was Mopé who was trying to press him, into Guardiola. Go and meet the ball, control it, bring it down. He delays and he's not decisive enough there. Phil Foden blocks it with his hand, but it was by the side of his body. Wasn't in the penalty area either, so don't worry about that. Sub 2, good to see you, mate. How you doing? And Mustafa as well. Long ball into that corner flag, and it's going to go out for a throw-in in a crap place for a throw-in. Hardick, it could have been the best goal of the season. You're talking about that Kyle Walker effort, mate. That was an absolute rocket, that. He didn't get it quite into the corner. It was, I wouldn't say savable, because it was the speed in which he hit it was good. But Guardiola with a big booming crossfield pass that's been intercepted, and Reguilon's got the ball. He's got to up his game, man. He really has. He's becoming a problem. I noticed it a while ago, and I just wanted to delicately suggest that our new signing, he hasn't exactly hit the ground running, has he? Let's be honest now. But we are now into the second half of the season where we need to see more now. We can't afford to be playing players that are out of form. If it's not working, get Akanji on and get Ake left back. Sorry, Guardiola. I really hope that, next season we'll probably see the best of him. And I fully believe that. I really think Josko Guardiola next season will be a player that stands up to the pressure of being a Manchester City player. I think he can do it. Absolutely. There's enough there. You can see glimpses of quality in his game. It's there. He's making too many mistakes, though, and I think there's a bit of nerves in there, and that ball there, he's already given the ball away 2 or 3 times. He wasn't exactly decisive with Edison just then. I don't want to get on his back too much because I want him to do well, but Pep's got to call it at some point and say, right, let's go back to getting Akanji in there, and Mr. Reliable Akanji, and even more Mr. Reliable Nathan Ake at left back. You know what, EC, you're absolutely right. Kevin De Bruyne has intercepted something there. Lovely turn as well. Gets it onto his left foot. Back post. Haaland's underneath it. It's got to be a corner. It's got to be a corner. Referee, Brentford are calling for it. But it's a corner ball. You're absolutely right, Issa. That's, yeah, you know me. And I as much as I loathe Manchester United, there's no taking goal of the season off Garnacho. There's no way. That's already cemented in place. That was ridiculous. I remember watching it live. I just went, oh! I just went, oh! Well, I didn't know how to react because it was painful because it was United. But as a football fan, you're just like, what's a goal? Fuck! My body just repulsed into, it pulled me in 2 different ways. Corner ball's come in, cleared by Toney, but Bernardo Silva's thinking about it. Corner of the edge of the area, opposite to where the corner came from. Alvarez has now got it edge of the area, dinks one in. Cleared. We can't be doing that. Guardiola smashes one into Rosehead. I hope you're right, Nick Knight. Guardiola will come good. One of the best defenders on show at the last World Cup, without a doubt, and he's still only 22. You're absolutely right. What we saw of him before in a City shirt was brilliant. He looked like an absolute unit. Quality player. Ball carrying skills. His composure. Doesn't panic. Eye for a goal. We saw that ourselves. He scored against us for RB Leipzig. So, yeah, and he was getting up and leaping like a salmon and beating Ruben Diaz in the air. So there was no problem. I had no problem signing him. I've still got no problem signing him. I'm not against the guy whatsoever. Just say it for what it is. Long ball over the top and Mopé's in. From a goal kick, it's onside, and Neil fucking Mopé has made it 1-0. The exact fucking thing that I said was all this talk about Ivan Toney. Watch Neil Mopé score. And he absolutely has. From a goal kick, you cannot be offside. So that ball's come all the way over the top. Simple as that. Unless Ivan Toney has got a touch on this for a flick on, which I'm praying there's some sort of technicality. I don't believe it, mate. I don't fucking believe it. Hang on. No, it doesn't touch it. No. So poor. So poor. So poor, that defending. That's Ivan Toney's. That's what I'm saying. Ivan Toney's won that goal for them because he's just seen it. Both Mopé and Ivan Toney standing in offside positions behind the line of Manchester City. Long ball goes over the top. Nathan Ake's panicking because he's already recognised that the trajectory of this ball is going over his head. Over his head. He's got to back up. Ivan Toney sees what's coming. Ivan Toney uses his physical presence, backs into Nathan Ake. Gets Nathan Ake out of the way and the ball just drops through and carries on going where Neil Mopé's just stood there waiting for a one-on-one and he tucks it into the bottom corner and it's a good finish. 1-0 fucking Brentford. Another corner ball. Listen, we've gone 1-0 down in the last 3 away games and we've won all 3. So, time to make it 4. But we can't keep doing this. You can't keep playing like this and making mistakes at the back like that. Schoolboy errors, man, to get one long ball over the top and they're in. Corner, cleared. Foden shot, it's blocked. It's been all City, and it's exactly how Brentford beat us last season. Direct. Ivan Toney, albeit nothing, he didn't actually touch the ball, but his presence caused the problem. Because Nathan Ake's heading that until Ivan Toney backs into him. Fuck's sake. Bernardo Silva. Walker. Cross is cleared. Long ball. Tony's chasing, but Ruben Diaz has got to win that. Kyle Walker's touch isn't good enough there. But oh, Haaland's broken away! Haaland's one-on-one! Erling! He saved it. No, it's not going to be one of them nights, is it? It's not going to be one of them nights. The ball's still with City, but he's got to finish that. Erling Haaland. Kevin De Bruyne into the penalty area. It's going to be Alvarez. And he's headed it, trying to make... He can't get any power on his header because it's one of them looping crosses that he's sort of bounced before it bounces up and he's trying to head it from a bounce up. But a giveaway handed on a plate for Erling Haaland and Flecken, again with save number... What is that? Save number 4? Save number 5? That's a big outstretched right foot. Massive save again. He's got to get a bit more height on that Erling Haaland. He's got to try and whip it into that top corner if he can. Here's me. I've told Kevin De Bruyne how to cross a ball. Now I'm telling Erling Haaland how to finish. But, yeah, that's kind of what fans do, isn't it? You see 28 stone blokes telling people how to play football in the football stand, so it's not unfathomable for a football fan to think they know best. That's kind of what we do, football fans. But this Flecken can piss right off so far. He's having an absolute worldie. It should be game over, really. I mean, some of the shot, Kyle Walker's not even considered a chance, but it was a great finish, great effort. Ivan Toney's asked Mads Rorslev to chase it, and he's kept it in, but thankfully he's offside. Less clean sheets than a Premier Inn. I am an armchair manager, Gregory. We all are, aren't we? Who isn't, if you follow football? Struggling at the less clean sheets than a Premier Inn. Fuck's sake. Unbelievable. This is what I'm saying. History, man, it repeats itself. It does in football. It's cruel. I don't know why it does that. Why do teams become bogey teams? Why does it always happen? It's mad, isn't it? And that Spurs, batch of games that we had at their stadium finally got that done and dusted by beating them and just couldn't even score, let alone get a point or anything out of the game. It's crazy, isn't it, football? It's mental. I still believe in this side. The way we're playing, they haven't let it affect them. Lovely ball to Kyle Walker. Oh, he's sort of beating himself. And he's got lucky, Kyle Walker. And he's crossing it, but it's coming to Guardiola. Takes a touch, and he doesn't need to. Josko got another save from Flecken. Another save. I mean, Kyle Walker, it's embarrassing what he did. How he tried to use his left foot there, that was just not happening whatsoever for him. But that effort from Guardiola was fantastic with his weaker foot. He took a touch. I thought he overhit it a little bit. Kyle Walker got lucky after his abysmal attempted left foot pass. And it sort of like, it was that bad, it tricked everyone that he ended up going through. Crossed it, and I think he didn't cut it back to Foden, but it gets to Guardiola, who's like 5-6 yards outside the box. I was thinking first time effort from Guardiola, maybe. But he takes a touch and then whips it with his right foot into the keeper's bottom right-hand corner, and Flecken saves once again. Neil Maupay and Ruben Diaz are having a wrestling match. Ruben Diaz just pushes Maupay to the floor. I think Maupay's now in there to protect Flecken from Ruben Diaz's tactics, which are clearly to interfere with the goalkeeper. So Neil Maupay's now stepping in to try and disturb Ruben Diaz. Corner's come in. Oh, and it's bobbling around, and it's ended up going flying into the air. And Brentford looked to be clearing it, not entirely cleared yet, still in the area, and now they get it away, more or less. Bernardo Silva nods it back, cushions it back to Kyle Walker. Flecken. We do this, don't we? Come up against teams that just one of their players has the game of their lives. You know, I mean, look at Chelsea. Look at Chelsea. How shit are Chelsea? Shit as you can be, like from a Chelsea perspective. How did they get 4 goals against us? Cross whipped in by Kyle Walker. It's cleared. Maupay is such a knobhead, Jeff. I love how you're calling people knobheads, Jeff. I know that's not in your typical lingo in America, but I like how the English and Manc way is rubbing off on you, mate. I love it. Yeah. De Bruyne can out us out of this. He can make magic on his own, says Jacob. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Did I see the switch between Ake and Josko? What, have they swapped position? I didn't see it, no. Long throw into Haaland, using his strength against Pinnock. Turns onto his right foot. He's got a few options. Gets it into Foden. Foden back to Rodri. Rodri pings one out to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva back heel to De Bruyne. Feints. Cross is blocked. Again, another corner. What's this? Corner number, 7? 8? We're battering them. We're fucking battering them. We're taking them to the cleaners. But one long ball from Flecken. Not only has Flecken got fucking 5 unbelievable saves, has he not got an assist to his name now as well? Fuck's sake. Talk about goalkeeping performance of the century. Fucking hell, corner ball. Oh, Josko, I thought that was straight on his head, that, but I don't know how he's not won that ball. It looked like he was going to head that in. Eyes twitching now. That's it. I've gone crazy. Guardiola. Back to Bernardo Silva. Rodri's dictating play. There's a lot of arm gesturing going on from Rodri here. He's not happy, and I don't blame him, to be honest. De Bruyne, a lovely little dink into Bernardo Silva. Back to Walker. He's got space. Lovely ball into Alvarez. Oh, and he just didn't connect with it. That vision from Walker there. No one saw that. Alvarez was in a little pocket of space inside the penalty area, and Walker's through ball was delightful. Really good vision. Really good. But Alvarez, as the ball comes across his body, over his shoulder, but on the floor, he tries to swing his right foot across it. Just completely whiffs it. It gets connected, but it just trickles towards Flecken, who is a big, what is he, pink? Pretty sure he's pink today. He's a big pink wall. Rodri's gone down, holding his ankle. Yellow cards straight away for Maupay. We could do with 10 men tonight, as in for Brentford. Because when do we ever play against 10 men? Ooh, it's a yellow. It's a yellow, but it's a nasty yellow. Yeah, it's a yellow card. He's up on his feet, Rodri. Thankfully. 308 in the building. Please drop a like if you can. It really does help. Ake and Rodri thinking about a bit of communication there, and they eventually sort it out between them. But there was a little bit of wondering, are you having it or am I having it? De Bruyne steps in, and here come Brentford. Ivan Toney's surrounded by blue shirts. Neil Maupay's Guardiola's intercepted though. Gets it into midfield with Foden. Good turn from Phil Foden. Quick feet. Uses a burst of speed to get past Jensen. Gets it back to Guardiola. Rodri's offering. Goes back to Ake. Alvarez, lovely pocket of space. And thought he fell over then, but he keeps the ball. Walker. Seen a lot of the ball this first half. 31 minutes? That's flown by, that has. Bernardo Silva down the line to De Bruyne. First time cross. Corner number 612 for Manchester City. Holding his hand in the air, De Bruyne. We've done terrible with these corners so far. And he continues. He just crosses the ball straight to the Reguilon, who chests the ball down and clears it. That's terrible. You can see what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to find Guardiola on the edge of the area. Or was it Bernardo Silva on the edge of the area? But he's not got his... assisting boots on today. It's normally shooting boots that you say, isn't it? But De Bruyne's crosses so far, none of them have found a City shirt. Saw one that he ballooned over everyone's head. All these corners we've had have not been good, to be honest. They've all been either cleared with ease, and that one was just a bit... Reguilon can chest it down. It's a good attempt from Kyle Walker. Pinnock with some good defending on Erling Haaland. The run was good, but it's good to see Walker sees the run, and he gives it a go. I mean, Pep might say, I need a bit more patience than that, Kyle, but I mean, that was on. It's good. It was a brave pass from Kyle Walker into Erling Haaland. And it was a good bit of defending because Pinnock has kept Erling Haaland reasonably quiet so far, apart from that one opportunity. Long ball over the top. What are we doing here, Blues? Oh, and Bernardo Silva gets back and wins the ball vitally. Ederson had to come out. Long ball over the top. Confusion again between Ake and I think it was Ruben Diaz. And Ederson not sure what to do with it. Ederson comes out and heads it clear, eventually taking control of the situation. Well done, Ederson. But the header could have landed to a Brentford player while Ederson's about 40, 50 yards out of his goal. And luckily Bernardo Silva gets a vital tackle in. And here he is himself down the left wing with Kyle Walker offering an overlap. Bernardo Silva chooses not to give it to Walker. And his shot goes over the bar. Bernardo Silva squaring up to Maupay. Maupay's getting in a bit of trouble here. He's already been booked for that foul on Rodri. So let's have a look. It was Janel. That was a great tackle by Bernardo Silva, that was. And then Maupay's... No, he's done nothing. Need to be getting wound up. If I'm Ruben Diaz, I'm poking him in the ribs all game. As a centre-back. That's what you do. You accidentally stand on his toe. You know, like you back away, you're looking at the ball come up, you accidentally stand on his toe, you poke his ribs, you pinch his skin a little bit, you grab his arm, you pinch it. All these little annoying things to wind him up. He's clearly got a screw loose, Maupay, because he's going round like a headbanger. He scored a goal, and it was well taken, in fairness to him. But he's got that attitude, hasn't he, that he's a very, he's easy to wind up. So wind him up. He's on a yellow card now. Get him fired up, get himself sent off. Was that not very honourable of me to suggest to pinch someone? I'm not a very honourable man, clearly. On the football pitch, I'm not. Outside of a football pitch, yeah. As I do like to consider myself honourable. But on the football pitch, man, dark arts. I'm all about the dark arts, man. I do like it. As much as I hate to see it, like the Italian way, like the Juventus of old, or even the Italy national team, man, they were some dark arts, man. They know how to wind players up and do things. You saw what they did to Zidane. What did he... I don't know what he called his mum. Was it a French terrorist something or other? Horrible, horrible things that... was it Maserati? Confusion again. Ederson takes control and Zidane turns round and boom, headbutt. So they know what they're doing, the Italians. I'm not into name calling to that extent. He doesn't need to call him that sort of names. It's a bit unnecessary, but Walker's got to chase this one. Gets back. Reguilon had no chance with Kyle Walker there, but Edison on his right foot, and he clears it. It's gone out for a throw-in. I'd rather him do that than give it away. 4 times we've conceded now in the last 4 away games. We've won the last 3, but we're approaching half-time. 9 minutes till 45 minutes. Would you change anything? I'm not sure I would. I don't think we're playing that badly. We're talking about one moment of stupidity again. Just switching off from a long ball. Long throws coming in to the City box, and Rodri's cleared it for a corner to Brentford. City look pissed off, man. They look wound up. Rodri's not happy at all. Understandably so. They look annoyed to be having to defend the corner, because it's like they don't even deserve a corner, Brentford, in this game. The way we've played has been decent. Chance creation's been a little bit bordering on desperate, because a lot of our shots have come from outside the box. These saves that Flecken's making are from long-range efforts. There's that one Haaland one-on-one. He's got to take his chance there, Erling Haaland. He has to. Corner, near post. Toney's clipped it over everybody's head. And that was a massive opportunity. He holds his hands to his mouth like he can't believe it. I think it's been deflected for another corner. Just off the head of Ruben Diaz. Toney's flick on at the near post. Bonks onto Ruben Diaz's head. And out for a corner. Got a bit lucky there, City, because I think that was goal-bound from Ivan Toney. It was a wicked delivery into that near post. Reguilon takes it short. City switched off. De Bruyne is the only man to come out to try and stop the short corner. Alvarez teams up. Cross has come down. Oh, and Edison saved it. It was going to fly into that far corner. It went. Nobody got a touch on it. It was going to come straight in off the cross. Kyle Walker clears it. Brentford looking for a second here. We can't go 2 down. We can't. Pinnock holding up the ball. Walker's on his back. Corner ball to Brentford again. Aaron. I typical love the videos, especially the analyst one with Stefan. Says your name's Aaron Borson, and you like the analyst with Stefan. You don't happen to be related to Stefan Borson, do you? Are you related to him? No way. If you are. No way. No way. Is that your dad, or what relative is he to you? He owned Simon Jordan in that interview. He owned him. He's your brother. Brilliant. Good to have you on the channel, mate. Buzzing. What a legend your brother is. And yourself for joining the chat. Big up to Aaron Borson. Simon is a douche. It's good. He is a bit of a douche, isn't he? I'm glad you enjoyed the video, mate. I enjoyed your brother laying down the law to Simon Jordan, mate. That was brilliant. Buzzing. You weren't going to tell me you were his brother then either, were you? I had to figure it out. Inspector Detective Jonny on the case. It wasn't that difficult to work out, to be fair, because I see your name and I read it and I remembered Stefan Borson's name, so I'm giving myself a bit too much credit there for working that out. But cheers, coolest Deborah. Thank you very much. Mustafa's going 3-1 City, turning it round. I predicted 3-1 actually, so I hope you're right, mate. I don't care how we win anymore. Just any win will do. You know, any win will do at this stage. Long ball's intercepted by Reguilon, and he's away. But he's knocked out for a throw-in. Reguilon, regulator. What, we're 4 minute 30 seconds away from half time. I wonder what Pep will do at half time, if anything. If anything. Stefan, too many chefs in this lineup. Do you mean the types of, you know, your Fodens, your Alvarez's, Bernardo Silva? Is that what you mean? Possibly. You're implying that we need a Nunes or a Kovacic then, some more control in midfield. I presume, is that what you mean, Stefan? I wouldn't have an objection to Nunes coming onto this pitch. Lovely ball. Josko Gvardiol, get your shot away, Josko! Why are you not shooting? What a ball from De Bruyne. The effort in the end is partly, it's like a half cross, half shot. It's a good run from Gvardiol. It's an intelligent run, brilliantly found by Kevin De Bruyne there. There's no one in the box. Haaland's marked by two people. You shouldn't even try and find him. And the effort is like, I don't know what that was. If that was a cross, it was bad. If it was a shot, it was bad. Either way, it was bad. He caught in two minds, obviously, and I think the outcome went right in between cross and shot. Oh, Gvardiol, mate. Just be brave with your thinking, mate. If you're going to go for it, go for it. What's he done here? Edison's got it clear. No! Fucking hell, Reguilon nearly put it into an empty net. Edison a bit indecisive coming forward there. Lovely ball to Kevin De Bruyne. When they come forward, they just look dangerous. Our defence looks so shaky. So shaky. Edison came out, basically, and he sort of like thought about it and then decided a bit too late. Rodri's giving it away, and Reguilon's having the game of his life so far, intercepting everything that's come his way. But he's giving it away now to Kyle Walker. I did say that Reguilon was the man for this game. The only change I would make in the Brentford side that played against, was it Spurs last week, would be him. Just for that experience. But there was nothing in that game that thought we can't beat them. And mind you, Spurs scored 3 goals in 7 minutes against this Brentford side. So maybe there's a lapse in concentration in there that we can expose later into this game, where we can steal 2-3 goals, turn this game on its head, and we're laughing all day then, aren't we? Long ball over the top to Bernardo Silva on the right wing. Little 5-yard ball into Kevin De Bruyne. Another ball into Phil Foden. Too many passes there, Rodri. You got to shoot there, Rodri. Tries to get it back to Foden. I thought that shot's got to be on. Foden says, I will have a shot. Flecken's fumbled it, and he gets lucky. If he's not doing brilliant things, Flecken, he's getting lucky. The shot from Foden was fired straight down the throat of Flecken, and he fumbled it. For the first time, we've seen sloppy play from their goalkeeper, and the fumble just gets backspin on it, and it sort of trickles just past the post, out for a corner. Frustrating. It's frustrating, this. We deserve a goal. The football we've played, the chances we've created. Like I said, a little bit on the desperate side. Once again, another shot coming from outside the box. But they're good efforts. They're all right. You know, they're forcing big saves. That one wasn't a great effort, and Flecken made it look better than it was because it was straight at him, but fumbled it. If we were never going to get clear-cut chances in the box. They've got flat back 5 that are inside the penalty area. So how many clear-cut chances are we going to get? De Bruyne's shot, Flecken save. Oh, this script's getting old, mate. This script's getting old. I'm getting bored of saying your name, Flecken. I wonder if that was even going in, to be honest, but Flecken, unbelievable. 9 saves he's made. The stat just came up on the board. Kevin De Bruyne with his 6 billionth corner. First time effort! Bernardo Silva, the same corner. Kevin De Bruyne tries it again. I'm surprised he tried it again, considering how bad it was last time. Reguilon saw it this time, but Ake sort of helps get in the way. De Bruyne gets enough on it this time to get it to Bernardo Silva, and Bernardo Silva's shot is deflected and out for a bollocks, referee. Out for a corner. De Bruyne is standing above Janalt because he's given a foul away for a very, very soft foul, and De Bruyne's sarcastically smiling, shaking his head. I think he went over and had a bit of a word with him while he's on the floor as well. De Bruyne's not had a great first half, in truth. He's been active, but his end product's not quite been there. But you do not write Kevin De Bruyne off, because he will pull off some that shot, by the way, from a couple of minutes ago from De Bruyne was brilliant. So that's what we need from him. We need that precision of Kevin De Bruyne. But so far, His delivery into the box hasn't been the greatest, and he's had plenty of corners to have at. Lovely ball. Kevin De Bruyne, he gets lucky and gets it back. Foden pings one out to Bernardo Silva. City looking for a bit of a counter-attack this, because there's space, but that space has gone in seconds because Brentford get everyone back and into shape quick as that. Lightning speed. Rodri, edge of the area, lets it run across his body. Left foot into Phil Foden. Feints Phil Foden into Ake. Ake's got to go away from goal now. Now the danger's going away from goal. Gets it back into Rodri. Rodri's ball's intercepted, and here come Brentford. No, don't do this to me. Walker's got a track back here. Neil Maupay's not the quickest. Doesn't even fancy going one-on-one with Kyle Walker's got to turn back. Goes all the way back to Ben Mee. He is, isn't he? Playing like bloody Manuel Neuer. Neuer's got a mistake in him as well, I think, in terms of like footwork mistake. Saves is just like brilliant. Shot-stopping abilities through the roof. Last 5 minutes, possession, 92% City. I'd like to see the whole game, like the whole first half. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like in the 70s. Lovely ball into the path of Kevin De Bruyne. That cross is on. Phil Foden's got to be! Yes! City make it 1-1 right on half-time. Drops beautifully to Phil Foden. Finally gets all the space in the world and tucks it into that bottom corner. There's no saving that, Flecken. You can stick your 9 world-class saves firmly up your arse, because that makes it 1-1. You can have as many saves as you like, but with this amount of efforts that we're having on goal, surely we were going to get a goal out of it. A little bit fortunate, to be honest. A little bit fortunate. Pinnock's clearance wasn't good enough. Nods it up in the air and Phil Foden gets underneath it, almost on the penalty spot. Bang on the penalty spot, in fact. Chests it, brings it down, and on the half volley, left foot, pokes it past Flecken. There's no saving that, mate. There's no saving that. One. Josko Guardiola, good interception on Ivan Toney there. And he beats him. Now pass it, Josko. You've done the hard work. Well done. Rodri. Out to Kyle Walker. Oh, we've got an extra 30 seconds to play here. You've got to add some time on. Oh, and Kevin De Bruyne has been sent down the right wing. Erling Haaland's bursting into the middle of the area. It's intercepted. That's unbelievable defending. Is that Ben Mee? Because that's unbelievable defending. As a defender myself, I fucking love things like that. I hate to see it against my team, but what a defensive action that was. Half-time whistle goes. Unbelievable. A really entertaining first half. Really was. Really entertaining. But frustrating at the same time to be going 1-0 down to this Brentford side. Their tactics were exactly what I said they were going to be. Just sit deep, hit us on the break, direct. It's not even counter-attacking football, because you need players with speed to carry the ball. They're not even offering that. They're just relying on the gaps that City were almost inevitably going to leave at the back. But to be exposed to the extent that we were exposed at the back like that, it was sloppy defending. I mean, Nathan Ake's been impeccable, but I'd like to see that goal back because he's misread that. Josko Guardiola, a little bit out of position for it as well. There needs to be a better communication. It needs to be the 1-1 in terms of defending. That's the safest way to defend. I was always told as a kid, if you're defending a long ball coming over the top, you get your man who's marking, and when that ball's in the air, you get another defender to drift in behind in case that front defender who's got his arms on his shoulders of the man he's marking, in case he misses it. If he misses it, you can be a sweeper behind him, get behind him. Maybe Josko Guardiola should have dropped in behind Ake to sweep up for that. I think he even started the motion towards doing it, but it was too late by that point. And don't forget, you can't be offside from a goal kick, so they made that work. We remember Edison's long ball over the top to Sergio Aguero against Huddersfield. Was that 2-3 years ago? Unbelievable ball to... he did it against... for Haaland as well, against Nottingham Forest, where Haaland just smashed... I can't remember who it was. Oh, it's that former Arsenal guy, wasn't it? What's his name? Can't remember his name now. But Haaland just bodied that guy, didn't he? It was just long ball over the top from Edison. And I mean, it's so enjoyable to watch as a team when Edison does it, because you know it's purposeful. You know, Edison's not the type of guy to just lump it meaningless and hope for the best. It was a direct pass from Edison. But as defenders, if you're Forest in that situation against Haaland, or Huddersfield in the situation against Aguero when he scored from a long ball over the top, or in our case, Ake, Guardiola from a Flecken kick, defending that should be bread and butter stuff from a defender. You know, you should be mopping up long balls like that. Certainly not two of you allowing a ball to go through you, to bounce on the floor in between you and skid off the surface, and you turn around and Mopé's one-on-one. Schoolboy stuff, mate. It really is. That was really frustrating to watch that. But tactically, they saw a weakness in City and they exposed it, and Flecken's having the game of his life. He really is. Unbelievable. Oh, voice is gone. Throat's going again. Oh yeah, I got that stuff. Do you remember in the last stream I was telling you about, like how I said my voice is like really struggling? I got this stuff. I don't know if you can see it. It said Voice 37, which is stuff that you take a shot of it basically. Backstage concerns, front stage results. You know, I love a good slogan like that. I'm a sucker for slogan. I've ordered like 3 Domino's pizzas in the last 2 weeks just because they sliced the price. You know what I mean? I keep doing it. I'm such a sucker for adverts and like things like that. I fall for it every time, man. Except like Smart Water as well. Like when I saw someone spoke to me and said, "Have you tried Smart Water?" on the street? They stopped me in the street and said, "Have you tried this Smart Water?" And I was like, "What is it?" And they were like, "Oh, it's just water." And I was like, "Yeah, it tastes like water, exactly like water." And he was like, "Yeah, it's good, isn't it?" I was like, "What have I been drinking? Mud and piss?" Like, no, it's just fucking water. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I fall for it. But this stuff, it works. It does work. So it's soothed my throat a little bit. I might have to have a little shot in a minute. But boo Domino's. Don't boo Domino's. Domino's is good, man. It's a bit pricey, but they've sliced it, so... Michael, Josko will develop into a legend. I think we'll develop into a good player. Legend, we'll see. We'll see. I hope so, mate. I really hope so, because I've got my first season concerns, but there's quite a few players that have turned up at Manchester City and struggled. So... But we do have Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut in Europe, mate. Pizza Hut was like before Domino's. I don't remember. When was Domino's? Which came first in England? Pizza Hut or Domino's? I remember when I was a kid, I rarely saw Domino's. But when I was like 6, I was like going to Pizza Hut and having the ice cream farm. Hey, ho, hoo, hoo, hoo. As a 6-year-old party, that was just like the best place. Papa John's. That's all right, Papa John's. How's the rat situation going? Still here. I've heard it a few times during this watch long. I just ignored it now. I'm just gonna might go upstairs and start asking for rent, man, because it's my missus, as you know, doesn't sleep here anymore. She's here during the day. For anyone who's wondering what the hell Coolest Zebra's talking about, we've got a rat infestation in the house, but it's like above us. It's in the attic, pissing me right off. Woke me up so much last night. Oh, man. And, yeah, I think it's just one, though, and it's a big back. We stuck a camera up there. And there's never, ever more than one rat on shot. So I think it's just one. Sounds like more to me, but maybe it's just one big bastard who's just up there. It's a big guy. Keeps putting its arse in the camera as well. Just, like, turning around and, like, giving me a moonie. It's there and just turning around and going, like, giving one of them to the camera. So we figured out, I need to get that camera down. I don't know what I'm doing leaving a camera up there. We figured out it's a rat. Looking at this goal now, Ivan Toney is backing into Ake, sorry. And, you know, Diaz, Guardiola, they're ball watching. I'm flabbergasted at that defending. It's really basic stuff. It's such a flat line from City, which... is a surprise to be so flat. as well. Not even one offering to, like, as soon as that ball goes in the air, you got to drop a man there in that situation. As soon as you see that's long, you've got to get back. Guardiola goes sideways rather than backwards. You've got to be aware of the fact that, albeit they're in an offside position, they can't be offside from a goal kick. You've got to keep your eye on them. And now we know that Flecken can kick it that far. But looking at this goal now from City's perspective, that ball from De Bruyne was hopeful and no one was in there. We got lucky, to be honest. If he gets a shout, Pinnock, in that situation, from the cross that comes in from De Bruyne, he's got to get a shout there as from Flecken or anyone in the Brentford defence to say, leave it. It's going to nobody. De Bruyne's cross has been overhit. It was going out for a goal kick or maybe for a throw-in, but he nods it like up. And that brings every City player back into play all of a sudden. That ball's going up and it's dropping onto the penalty spot. Phil Foden gets it on his chest and pokes it in. But yeah, going to need a shot of this because my throat is going. It's kind of weird that I'm doing this sort of thing, but bear with me. Tastes all right, you know. A bit medicinal. But, oh yeah. See what I mean? Because it's for singers, isn't it? Backstage concerns and front stage results. So I've gone from like to like an absolute worldie of a voice, like the reverse of Homer Simpson, basically. Who's seen that episode where Homer as a kid is on stage as like a 10, 11-year-old boy singing his heart out with the most beautiful voice. And then his dad's watching him saying, my boy's going to make me a fortune. Like crying because his voice is so beautiful. And then his balls drop on stage and he goes into puberty live on stage and he goes, oh, it's so good. I love that moment in The Simpsons. Been watching a lot of The Simpsons lately because my boy is a bit young for it, to be honest. He's 6 and he really enjoys The Simpsons. But the jokes that are in there, like adult jokes that are going whoosh straight over his head. But he does enjoy the slapstick stuff. But yeah, we're turning this round now. That goal was absolutely vital for Manchester City because I would not want to have to score more than one goal in that second half. Now it's a case of we can be composed. Let's call it 0-0. Come out. Don't think we need to change much now. Changes would have to have been made if, maybe not, but early changes in the second half at least, if that was still 1-0 Brentford. Because, I don't know, it's a tough one because it's not like we were lacking control. We were creating enough chances and we were never, like I said, we were never going to get like clear-cut chances where we're, you know, inside the penalty area. Other than that giveaway to Haaland, all of our efforts have pretty much come from outside the box. And Brentford defending so deeply, there is no alternative. So adding a Núñez or a Kovacic to give us a sense of control in midfield would probably harm us, if anything, because the sheer... I can't remember who it was who said it, but the too many chefs was the terminology that the person in the chat used. Sorry if I've forgotten who said that. Part of me thought you might be right, but it's what's creating us chances at the minute, you know, because of these players that are just so like forthright with their attacking mentality. I think that's exactly what we need to beat Brentford because they are so deep. And, yeah, we've broken the door down at least, thankfully. Thankfully, it's 1-1. But, I mean, would you bring on Núñez? Kovacic? If you want to make an absolute fortune, put a bet on every game for City that we don't hold a clean sheet. Guaranteed millionaire this season. Fuck's sake. Yeah. It's been sloppy in defence, hasn't it? Pretty much from the get-go, you know. And kept it clear. It was first game was Burnley, wasn't it? That was 3-0 if I remember rightly. I don't think we conceded a goal in that game, or did we? But that goal against Burnley last week, the Etihad game against Burnley, that was another game that was like, how have we conceded a goal? Everton, you know. Rodri. What a through ball from Rodri that was. He just slots in. Who was it who crossed the ball? Was it Dwight McNeil? Or was it Dwight McNeil who scored? I can't remember. But all I remember is Rodri with this beautiful through ball, sending whoever it was for the Everton player to cross it to make it 1-0, infuriating. And I've been saying it, the tactics aren't wrong. I mean, there's been small little tweaks to Pep's tactics here and there that's been evident in the games, but I don't think his tactics have been like drastically wrong for 90 minutes where we lost the game or dropped points. Excuse me. Or we dropped points because of the tactics. I don't think that's ever been the case. I think we've just made too many errors, individual errors. Just sloppiness. You look at all of our goals that we're conceding, you can point your finger at one player almost every time and go, what are you doing in that situation? There's no need to make these mistakes. The amount of mistakes we made in that Chelsea game as well, that 4-4. Unbelievable. It was Guardiola was the first one, wasn't it, with Reece James? And it wasn't really that big a mistake. It was difficult for Guardiola to deal with it, but it still goes down as an individual error. There's nothing tactical about that. Phil Foden kicking whoever it was it Elise, for the Crystal Palace equaliser in the 96th minute bloody penalty. People are blaming Kyle Walker for what went on and he should have taken responsibility, but there is no need for Phil Foden to kick that player in that situation. It was just a rash decision that cost us 2 points. Infuriating, really is. I think, was Ruben Diaz at fault away at Wolves for a goal? I'm sure there was just a bit of sloppiness from Ruben Diaz from a cross that he doesn't clear properly for Wolves to make it 2-1 just after we made it 1-1 with an Alvarez free kick. All these little errors that we've made over the course of the season are killing us, man. I mean, you talk about chefs, too many chefs. Would you throw Doku on? I'm not sure this is the game for Doku. I don't think he's got the space. Or is it's a tough one with Doku because he's the sort of guy that he can break down a flat back five just by beating 2 or 3 of them with some mazy dribbling run. He's that sort of player. But they're so deep. He's got no space. He'll have no space to work in. And you need to be a bit cuter. You need to be a clever. Your Bernardo Silvas of this world are suited to these types of games to pick a lock a little bit more intricately, you know, like without just the aggressive wham bam of Doku. I love it. It's so entertaining to watch Doku try and beat a player. But I'm not sure this is the game for it. So I can see why Pep's not played him or Jack Grealish in truth, because I think Jack Grealish is too much the other way. I think Bernardo Silva's that nice balance between Doku and Grealish of a player that can control a game but can also beat a player. Jack Grealish is very controlling. Doku's very aggressive and loose with the ball. Second half is about to get underway. And I should have gone for a pee. And we're off. 4 seconds inaccurate, so I do apologise for that. I think I was a second behind on that, so a couple of seconds out. Yeah, Gomez is not a sub. There's rumours that he's off. Sergio Gomez there's rumours that he's no longer going to be a City player come the summer. I don't know whether that's played into Pep's thinking. Looking at the bench, who would he play? Who would Gomez put on? Sorry, who would Pep put on the bench instead of Gomez, or who would Gomez replace rather? Can't see him because we've got Ortega, Doku, Stones, Kovacic, Nunes, Grealish, Lewis, Akanji and Bob. It's quite an aggressive bench, isn't it? Very attacking. Got 350 in the building. 166 likes. Could we get that to 200, please? If we can, I will be extremely grateful. Jeff with the 2. Become a typical member and you can use my face. Get your Jeff emojis by becoming a typical City member. As well as little Erling Haaland emojis, De Bruyne emojis, Doku emojis, Foden, Rodri, I'm sure they're all in there as well. And Jeff, of course. Jeff, the legend in the chat. That is Jeff Spruance. There he is. And cheers for the 2, Jeff. Much appreciated, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's not just a face for radio, Jeff. You handsome devil, you. I'm taken, though, Jeff, so sorry, mate. Foden. Looking for options. Alvarez is one of them, and he's lost the ball, Alvarez. Sloppy touch. He's probably the one sacrificable player in this game so far, is Alvarez. Brentford switching it. Long ball. Kyle Walker's got to deal with it, and he does really well. Really well there. That was not a difficult ball to deal with. It's bouncing, whipped across behind the whole back line of Manchester City's defence. Kyle Walker's got a man on his shoulder in Reguilon, I think it was. But he just gets a cushioned side foot into Ruben Diaz, and then Ruben Diaz can send it away. Good defending by Kyle Walker, that really was. Rodri. De Bruyne. Outside of the foot, cross is intercepted, but Rodri's using his strength. He's thinking about a shot. Rodri's shot's blocked by Pinnock. Oh, piss off, referee. Ruben Diaz comes over and breathes on somebody. Ivan Toney's been breathed on. He's been breathed on. Ha! And he goes down. Ada, good to see you, mate. Who would you, if you're taking off anyone, I'd probably go Alvarez, because I'm not sure. The midfield role could be done by numerous other players. You could move De Bruyne into his more central role, because De Bruyne's floating a lot at the minute. But I say that, here comes Alvarez, confused, but he does well there. Haaland and Alvarez didn't know what to do with it, but Alvarez takes control of the situation and gets out to Bernardo Silva. Alvarez edge of the area. Oh, some good defending by Reguilon again. It was a bit fortunate how it broke to City, and I thought Alvarez was going to get around like a cluster of Brentford players that had all fallen on the ground, but Reguilon sticks out a boot while lying on the ground and gets it in. Neil Maupay's being chased by Ruben Diaz, and he prevents the corner really well there, Ruben Diaz. Doku's warming up. Bob's warming up. Nunes is warming up. It's usually a clue as to what Pep's thinking. So it's going to be out of those three. Or is that Akanji? Oh, Akanji's been warming up as well there. Is that... No, that's Doku. Sorry, that's Doku. Long throw in, come in near post. It's not cleared. Foden gets it away. De Bruyne is chasing. Mads Rorslev nods it back. Bernardo Silva underneath it. Gets it sort of away. Foden. De Bruyne pokes it around the corner to Foden. Alvarez. Oh, they're just trying to get the ball to Rodri and Haaland. Both of them running down the left-hand side of the pitch. And here come Brentford the other way, though. Ivan Toney, one-on-one with Guardiola. Gets it back. Nathan Ake nods it away. Get on the end of that City. And they do. Brentford, like, exposing themselves here a little bit. And not in the Kyle Walker way, in the footballing way. Got to stop saying that word, expose. Because Kyle Walker just keeps popping into my head every time. Doku on the right, is that what you're thinking? Nothing's up with Grealish. There was a rumour going round, Hot Hits, that he, according to some twonk, basically, on Twitter, talking about Grealish's he stormed out of training, basically. And he didn't, because he's in the squad, so I wouldn't read too much into that. That's the problem with Twitter. And I mean, I started on it, and I was dubious about doing anything on Twitter. The more I go on it, I use it to get news off like transfer gurus like Fabrizio Romano and other people. But yeah, the other stuff that's on there, the non-footballing, even the football stuff's just bitter and nasty and vile, toxic. It's just not very pleasant on that platform, is it? De Bruyne. Similar pattern to the first half, this. Alvarez's touch is a poor one. Starting to think he might be the one to be pulled off the pitch. Foden. Knocking it around City a bit. It's the same as the first half, really. Kyle Walker using pace and power there to get past Janvelt. Bernardo Silva. Diaz. Patient build-up play from Manchester City. Yeah, troll football's funny. It's done in good taste as well, troll football. It's good. I like troll football, yeah, I totally agree, it's good. Yeah, there's some good stuff on Twitter, mate. There really is. Jeff, you're absolutely right, mate. I can't grow facial hair. Thanks for telling everyone in the chat, though, mate. Much appreciated. Oh, it's Phil Foden's made it 2-1, just as Jeff's insulting the fact that I can't grow facial hair, and it looks like I've got some ants crawling across my face on a celery stick. Like, what the fuck? Jeff, we've made it 2-1, regardless of the fact that I can't grow a beard properly. It's irrelevant, Jeff. It's irrelevant. Manchester City are winning the game, unless this is offside. Unless this is offside. Oh. I'm not follically blessed, Jeff. I'm not follically blessed, unfortunately. I've got hair up here, though. This is fine. I'm all right up here. Phil Foden's onside. Boom. 2-1. Oh, no. Not 2-1 to Brentford. Wrong. Let's get it right. 2-1 City. Boom. No, I still grow hair. Like, it's not like I'm completely bald in my face. I can grow hair. It's just patchy. I just can't grow a proper beard. Just like a little bit of stubble around the edges. That's about it. But yeah. The missus doesn't like hair anyway, so I got lucky with that. I must admit, I do look at Josko Guardiola and be like, with a great big bushy beard. No, I couldn't do it. And what's his name? Jordan, the JP of City Extra. That's a whopping beard, that is. That's a great beard. Love how his City got through there. De Bruyne got on the end of that. We've turned it round, Blues. We've done it again. I have been to the Etihad, Martin, many, many times. I was a season ticket holder for 32 years. So I've been to the Etihad and Main Road. I stopped being a season ticket holder at the end of last season. I thought it was a good time to... because I wanted to commit to this as much as I felt like, how much am I going to miss now? Because I've seen City win pretty much everything. Albeit the Champions League obviously isn't won at the Etihad, but you know what I mean. We won the treble last year, so it was kind of a good season to hang my hat up as a match-going fan and become more of a social media... And the option to be closer to my family as well. Long ball to Ivan Toney. Oh, shitting hell. Oh, and it's gone over the bar. Thank God for that, because Mads Roslev's coming forward there, gets on the end of a loose cross that wasn't cleared with, and he boots it over the bar. Yeah, 32 years, Michael, yeah. 3. My parents took me when I was a 3-year-old. Talk about child cruelty, because we were shit back then. We were shit. And my parents dragged me. Whoa, Brentford getting a taste of their own medicine. Not quite as effective as Flacken's through ball, but one long ball over the top to Haaland. Big pocket of space, but Pinnock does well to turn him round. I don't remember that much. I remember from about the age of about 5, and I didn't watch the football. I used to go. My parents used to take me to the games as a kid, and I used to have this box that I sat on and a Thomas the Tank Engine book that I would read at half time. Kevin De Bruyne's effort, and it's saved by Flecken. It was deflected, flying in as well. Needed saving. But, yeah, I just used to take my Thomas the Tank Engine book. And then when I was about to be honest, when I was about 3 or 4, my parents told me that I used to cry every time City scored because it was so loud. I was just sat there in my own world, like reading my little Thomas the Tank Engine book, and I'd get this shock of my life because like 20,000, 30,000 blokes would just go, "Rah!" next to me. I'd go, "Fucking hell," as a little 3-year-old kid and cry my eyes out. So I didn't really enjoy scoring. Foden's efforts blocked. But prior to being 3, I don't remember much before that, but since being 3, I started to enjoy it more and more and get more involved in the game. Once I hit about 7 or 8, I was like quite invested in what was going on. But yeah, no, I still miss going, I must admit. I love doing this, but I do miss going to the games. Walker. Lovely ball. Foden's pocket of space. Little flick into Alvarez. City looking confident now. Need a third, though. Let's kill this game with a third. Rodri into Guardiola. Thinks about the cross. Gets it back onto his right foot. He's very... he's ambipedal, isn't he? Guardiola, which is the word for two-footed. A little bit of biology there for you. Ambipedal instead of ambidextrous, which is for writing. Ambipedal is apparently the word for being two-footed. And Guardiola's got a right foot. He definitely has. He uses it. He's already had a couple of shots with it in this game, which is always a sign of a good player. De Bruyne. Out to Bernardo Silva. Walker's going to first time cross. Bit deep that. Guardiola's going to get underneath it though. And it's he's won a corner somehow. Guardiola. Jeff, have you noticed anything else about me? Do you want to expose any other insecurities of mine, Jeff? Just spot them, get them in the chat, mate. Make me feel worse, mate. Appreciate it. De Bruyne is holding his hand up for a corner, which has got... What's this number of corners now? Near post, cleared by Ben Mee. No, Nathan Collins, sorry. Left foot cross comes in into Flecken's hands. It's not been great from De Bruyne's delivery today. I mean, even the goal was a bad cross that was made into a chance because Pinnock didn't clear it properly. Take it as a compliment. You're so youthful. Cheers, mate. I'm 35. A 35-year-old man who can't grow a beard. What a loser. I'm sure there's people in the chat that can't grow a beard. It's not that uncommon. But you're really making me feel bad about myself, Jeff. So, cheers. Oh. Knocking it about badly there at the back. City have given the ball away. Ruben Diaz with a bit sloppy. Cross is coming in from Reguilon. It's gone over everybody. Ivan Toney's got it back across the ball. Asking for handball. And it's cleared. Is that Ruben Diaz block? Saving it there. Massive block from Ruben Diaz. Everyone's patting him on the back there. I'm not sure how City even are in that situation to have to defend like that. In the game that we've been playing, total control. And again, it's just a mistake. Ivan Toney does really well to get that ball back into the danger zone. He's asking for handball. But Nathan Ake looked like he had his arms by his side, so I can't see that being given. It falls, I can't remember who it fell to, the Brentford player, but it's on the edge of the area. First time effort, he's trying to whip it into that corner, but Ruben Diaz just leaps and makes himself as big as possible, and he gets a vital touch on it. Corner ball to Brentford. Roslef's going to whip this in. Near post, and it's flicked on, out for a goal kick. We're getting warnings that they're not done, Brentford. We need a third. We absolutely need a third. Norgard with a big flick on it. It's a good flick on as well. If they had someone at the back post, they're getting a tap in. What's gold play button? What's numbers? I know it's a YouTube thing, but it's what number is gold play? Isn't silver 100,000? Is gold like 1 million? I can't see myself ever getting 1 million subscribers, mate. Maybe one day. I mean, I might do myself an injustice there, but Foden's received the ball from Edison there and complaining about it. It was his touch. He didn't. It was about. I mean, Brentford are coming away with another opportunity to cross the ball here. Ivan Toney's sloppy. Foden's kicking off on Edison here, but the ball into him wasn't that bad. Foden tries a little flick and gives it away, and Foden turns around and says, "Go longer." But Foden didn't need to give it away either. It was like, yeah, if Edison should have gone longer, fine, but you didn't need to give it away like that. A diamond button, 10 million. Is that a diamond button? Jesus. Didn't they give out a platinum for someone? What was it? What's his face? What's he called? See, that's the thing with YouTubers. I'll tell you in a minute after this corner. Whipped in. Oh, no, Mopé! And it's cleared by Guardiola. Corner comes in, it's deflected, goes to the back post. Neil Mopé on the volley, side foot, heads it straight towards Manchester City's goal. It was going in. And Guardiola gets in the way with a big side foot and clears it. Good instincts from Guardiola. That's one of them, though, that could have deflected in that, but he got enough on it to clear it rather than deflect it. Is that what it is? 1 million is gold and silver's 100k. PewDiePie, that's it. PewDiePie. Long throw's going to come in. I'm sure he got a platinum for like 100 million, didn't he? Clear the fucking ball, City. Why are we under pressure all of a sudden? Long ball. It's gone all the way back to Flecken, who is secretly Kevin De Bruyne today with an assist to his name. Composed football by Guardiola there. He's had a good second half so far, Guardiola. He really has. He's played well this second half. Foden. Slowing the game down a little bit, City. See, that's what I was going to say. See how I was doing that then? Like, what's his name? What's his name? That's YouTubers in a nutshell. They're like, as much as like I'm buzzing to get 10,000 subscribers, by the way, but some YouTubers, you can see it, like, you have to manage their egos a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of them think they're famous. I mean, no YouTuber in the world is famous in my book. Not that many. I mean, you could probably count them on your hands, that many actually famous YouTubers. But they're famous in your world if you watch them. Do you know what I mean? But like, I went and asked my missus, "Oh, do you know I Show Speed?" And she was like, "No, who the fuck's I Show Speed?" It's like one of the biggest YouTubers around right now. Like, yeah, my missus had no idea. She's Rodri! Oh, and it's saved by Fleck, and she knows who. She knows people and stuff. But like, multiple YouTubers out there, they're snap your fingers famous, aren't they? YouTubers, that's what they are. Who's that? Who's that guy? You know, the what's his face? That guy. That's how famous YouTubers are. They're snap your fingers famous. You know what I mean? Like, they do get a bit carried away, YouTubers, don't they, in terms of fame? But here's me with 10,000 subscribers giving it the big... Yeah, Mr. Beast is famous, and fair play to him with all the stuff that he does. Unbelievable. He makes genuinely good videos, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, the video ideas that he has are fantastic. So good. And I click on it. They're so watchable. And just like, yeah, I watched most of them from start to finish, and like, they're good. They're just good videos. Really good ideas, unique. City are in here. Kevin De Bruyne's got it. Oh, De Bruyne's not having his greatest game, man. He really isn't. He was fed by Erling Haaland. Really intelligent from Haaland. Here comes Haaland again. De Bruyne wants to feed Haaland, and he's giving it away again. Kevin De Bruyne. It's not his night. It really isn't. Not the script we thought we would be talking about tonight, in truth, with... Haaland and De Bruyne are starting at the same time. And they've not connected whatsoever, have they? Here come Brentford. Ivan Toney's whipped it in. And it's gone to the back post, and Phil Foden's got some defending to do. Mopé going back. Oh, Rodri gets in a vital touch. We're being sloppy here. We really are. Nix, Goldbridge. I like Goldbridge as a person, but do you know what I mean? You ask anyone outside of football who Mark Goldbridge is, they won't have a clue. Not a clue. Not a clue. Yeah, you ask a lot of football fans like who don't go on YouTube, they won't have a clue who Mark Goldbridge is. Ivan Toney's just volleyed one over the bar with a long cross that's coming. Another warning from Brentford. And it's not like, oh, that was a warning. We've had about 5 or 6 in the space of 10 minutes here, where Brentford are getting the ball in the box pretty easily. Just trying to look. Bernardo Silva's switched off there. Why is Bernardo Silva marking Ivan Toney? Someone wake me up with that. What's my favourite dessert? I don't know, mate. I like them all. I'm not allowed to eat sweets anymore. That's another insecurity. Jeff, you're going to be loving this, mate, because my teeth... And I'm not insecure, to be honest, really, but I've got terrible teeth. Like, I've... look at this. Got a little bag of drugs here. That's Nerds. Americans will know it. It just happens to be in a suspicious-looking bag, which used to contain nails. So there's probably a bit of rust in there. Nice handful of Nerds and rusty nails to go with it. So because they come in a box. They come in a box that you open the box. Americans will know this. Nerd sweets in this big box. Well, why is there no bag inside it to keep it sealed and like to stop these little pebbles flying everywhere? But I'm not allowed to eat them anyway. I've got loads of work to be done at the dentist soon. Because I never even told you that, you know, when I was going through all those problems like in the last week or so, I never told you that a piece of my tooth fell off either, which was devastating. That's like a real like, eye-opener to the amount of sweets that I eat. But Alvarez ball to Rodri was a sloppy one. I don't know what's gone on here. We went 2-1 up before the second half started, and we played really well until we scored. Now we've scored, it's like we've switched off and not really being very potent with our football, giving it away. And Brentford have mounted numerous attacks that have been a threat. You like custard? Yeah, favourite dessert? I don't know. Like, across the road there's a pub that does a caramel sundae that's unbelievable. I'm not a big dessert guy, you know. I tend to like, if I want a dessert, something sweet, which I always do, it's like a chocolate. Do you know what? Favourite dessert? Greg's going to be livid. Domino's do a new chocolate-covered dough balls. Fuck it out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're so good. I'm pretty sure it's Cadbury's chocolate as well. 1-2 with Foden and Alvarez into the box. Guardiola's going to dink this one. Haaland's underneath it, but it's over his head. And away comes Reguilon. Smashes the ball into Mope, but somehow he controls it. Back to Ben Mee. Ben Mee looking for options for Brentford. He dinks one forward. Foden chests it into Rodri. City get the ball back. Chocolate fudge cake. Stefan. Custard slice. Low fat's gone for. Haaland into Foden's path. He's in. Phil Foden's got to make it 3-1, and that's the game. Done and dusted. Manchester City should surely have 3 Premier League points on the board. We close the gap to Liverpool, and we send a massive message to our Premier League rivals that this is Manchester City, and the foregone conclusion that they are very, very aware of is that Manchester City are purring once again. Second half of the season syndrome is kicking in. And here we go. Point collecting. And watch this. 8 games in a row. Win. Phil Foden with his new gun celebration. I don't know what that was, to be honest. But 3-1 Manchester City. I did. I called it, Jeff. I said 3-1. So if I want to get my prediction right, we'll stop it here. But I'm not bothered if we go and score a 4th, mate. No problem with that. Haaland with the assist, by the way. That's basic number 9 stuff. Really good. Simple, to be honest. Poor defending from Brentford. Big gap was exposed. Just the patience of Manchester City eventually telling that the football they've played has deserved this. That's the chance that was never getting created in the first half. Tired legs from Brentford have exposed a gap in their back 3, back 5, whatever you want to call it. And Phil Foden's exposed them. Let's put the 3rd on the board. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I feel a bit more relaxed, but, you know, 20 minutes to go. You just never know. You never know. I still don't feel like this is done, you know. I really don't. So, a Phil Foden hat-trick. I mean, brilliant. Is that 10 goals now for Phil Foden? And 8 assists this season, if memory serves me. He's got 18 goal involvements in about 20 appearances, because he hasn't played every game, has he? He's played pretty much all of them, but not all of them exactly. I had to remind myself who scored the second then, because I forgot that Phil Foden's just got himself a hat-trick. I've not done him justice there by not even mentioning the fact that Phil Foden has got a hat-trick. Apologies, Felipe, because it's no easy feat getting a hat-trick in the Premier League. Away from home even more so, and away from home from a midfielder, brilliant. Brilliant. I think you might be right, Cooley Seberi. I think his first Manchester City hat-trick was in the 6-3 win against United last season. And Doku's on the pitch. I didn't see that one. Doku's just on the pitch. I hope we made a substitution and he's not just walked on and no one said, "What are you doing?" There's 12 men on the pitch now and Doku's one of them. No, I don't know who's come out. Bernardo Silva, sorry. Bernardo Silva must be the man because he's playing right wing and I can't see Bernardo Silva. While I was putting the score on the board, I missed that. But that's a nightmare for Brentford, isn't it? You go 3-1 down and on comes Jeremy Doku. Oh, as if you're not tired enough already. At least we know who man of the match is today. Yeah, it's pretty easy, isn't it? Pretty easy. Ruben Diaz. No, Phil Foden. Yeah, Phil Foden, hands down. Still not giving I'll give you a spoiler right now for player ratings because I really want to tease people with the 10. I don't know why. I'm finding it enjoyable. I'm not going to give anyone a 10 until they do something outrageously good. You know, 10 out of 10. That means perfection. That's what 10 out of 10 means in my book. 10 out of 10 should be a real rare occurrence. People hand out 10s for anything nowadays. People fart and they get 10 out of 10. Has he got a 9.7 on SofaScore? Well, yeah, that's the thing. A lot of my scores do hinge on statistics, but there's a big portion of it that goes off my opinion, like what I've seen in this game. And Phil Foden's like, yeah, I mean, he's getting 9.5. Let's spoil the party for tomorrow. But he's not getting a 10 as of right now. Phil Foden's just giving the ball away, so you can forget your fucking 10. He's just giving it away as I'm talking right now. But he's been brilliant. He really has. The finishes as well, by the way, just cool as you like. A striker's instinct in front of goal. Haaland gets himself an assist. Guardiola was fired a ball into him there from Rodri and he controls it really well. Walker, who's had a good game. Both ends of the pitch as well because he's not really asked to attack as much as we've seen this season from Kyle Walker. He's asked to go forward quite a bit. And yeah, I think the other end of the pitch is always his best end of the pitch, as in defensive side of it. Here's Doku. He's terrorising Reguilon, but he's won the ball there. Doku's found a pocket of space, though, fed by De Bruyne. His cross is cleared, though. Hard and low effort to find Erling Haaland. I'd love a Haaland goal. We just need a Haaland goal now to put the cherry on the cake. Because he'll be fuming coming away from this game. Haaland, who has never scored against Brentford. That's a handball from Kyle Walker. Has to be. And he's not giving it. I don't know how he's not giving that. Kyle Walker's hand was out like that. I saw that. I don't even need a replay. He stuck his hand out. Have I been any section? Have I been any different than normal? I don't think I certainly don't play up to my reaction. I try to be as organic as possible. Triple substitution for Brentford. Lewis Potter, Damsgaard and Yarmolenko coming on for Roysveld, Jensen and Janelt. So pretty much a straight midfield swap for Brentford. Is it? I'm worried now, section. Like, what have I done and said? Sometimes I look back, man. It's, you know, when you watch yourself on camera, I rarely do it. I try not to do it as much as possible because you end up getting insecure, don't you? And have people like Jeff telling you that you can't grow a beard properly, which makes it infinitely worse. But if you watch yourself back on camera, you just cringe, don't you? Oh, fucking hell. And Ake gets it away. A through ball, 1-2 with Mopé and Ivan Toney. Typical old school centre forward play, that. Bringing it down by Ivan Toney into the path of Mopé, 1-2. And Ake read it, though, really well and gets a toe. Corner ball to Brentford. Got to defend this now. We're approaching the 80th minute now. We can't concede any sloppy goals because it's going to be so horrible if they score at any point, really. At any point. Oh, and Edison saved it. Header from Norgard. Straight at Edison. Didn't get much power on it, to be fair. Corner was a good one. Header looked like a good one. I think it clipped off the neck, the back of the neck, like the top of the spine of Kyle Walker. I think so. Because it took the pace off his header and it just sort of loops towards Edison and he catches it easy. You know what, Stefan, I think you might be right. Poor in defending corners. I think you're right. It's not been great. They've been dangerous. Like they've been getting that first ball, haven't they? They've been first to win it. And you can say the same in the other end of the pitch as well, where they've been winning the first ball every time. I'm not entirely convinced that Kevin De Bruyne's crosses has been that bad. Some of them have been good, but you're going up against an absolute monstrous size of player when you go up against Brentford. They're big, man. They get Ivan Toney back on the near post, which is like huge. Lewis Potter's bringing the ball forward here for Brentford, and Edison's going to collect that cross. There was no one in the box for it. Easy for Edison. Doku's got the ball now, going one-on-one against Ben Mee. Slowed it down. Good ball from Doku. Rodri, sloppy touch, but he keeps the ball. And he's not. He's giving a free kick away. Sloppy touch from Rodri. That was good play. Good wing play from Doku. He slowed it down. Held up the play. Let City catch him up. Plays it inside to Rodri. It was just a sloppy touch. What's the... I take it the poll. Have I still left that going? I'm terrible at this, aren't I? That poll that I put on like ages ago. 10 hours ago I put that poll there. Comfortable City win seems to be the popular opinion now. I'm letting people vote as we're 3-1 up. So I'm going to end that poll. It's kind of in the way, wasn't it? Long ball. Edison's come flying. What's he thinking there, Edison? It was never on and he's clattered Ivan Toney. And it should be a free kick, really. But City are coming the other way without complaining. Kevin De Bruyne is going to get his shot away, is he? No. He's had to slow it down. It looked like a free kick to Brentford, that did. It did. Doku's going to pass it out. Edison's absolutely clattered Pinnock. What's he thinking there, Edison, coming out? It's not really a foul. Luckily, it's outside the box, so you can forget VAR. They're not going to get involved. Nothing to do with VAR. It's outside the box, so nothing. But it was crazy goalkeeping for a split second there. He totally misread it. There's been a lot of that tonight, misjudging the flight of a ball. Saw Ake, long ball from Flecken, and that's how they scored. Just not getting underneath it. Edison thinking this one's mine, going to gather this on the edge of the area, and all of a sudden he's outside the area and he's nowhere near it. And he clatters both Pinnock and Nathan Ake in the process, who are both fine and back on their feet. No free kick was given, and Doku knocks it out for precautionary reasons. I'm surprised the referee didn't give a free kick then, to be honest, because City went up the other end. De Bruyne, who doesn't look as quick as he did. You know, Alvarez is in here if he plays his cards right. Good defending by Pinnock, though. Norgard. Mopé. And he lets it run out. City throw. He does, Aaron. Absolutely, mate. I love Edison. He's the perfect goalkeeper for us. That's the real. I think I said it a couple of streams ago. So Kyle Walker's lost his shit here. What's he doing? He's having a word with the referee. He's pointing at Neil Maupay. He's dobbing on him. He's dobbing on Neil Maupay. He's saying, watch him. He's telling on him. He's snitching. And I mean, if it gets Neil Maupay a second yellow card, I don't care how petty the snitch is. Game is done, says Nick Nack. Chill. Yeah, absolutely. From a City player point of view. Robert Topalian, is that you, Topo? Because if that's my friend Robert Topalian, good to see you in the chat, my friend. Kyle Walker exposing Maupay. No way. If that's you, Topo, tell me it is. Tell me it is. By the way, yeah, yeah, it is you as well, isn't it? It is you, Topo. You dirty rag. He's a United fan. Everyone give him shit. Everyone give... Topo, he's my best mate from school, man. I've known him for years. And I had no idea he was even watching this. And here he is. Oh, I'm joking. He's gone now. He's gone. Oh, I love you, Topo. No way. Anyway. You know what? Topo can't grow a beard either. You're absolutely right, Jeff. Both me and Topo, that's how we became best mates. As two friends who can't grow beards. Like, we're both terrible at beards. Like, it's patchy. Like... But, yeah, Haaland, De Bruyne. All my mates are United fans, to be honest. I don't have any City fan friends. I've made some terrible friend. Even the missus is a United fan, so I've made some terrible decisions in my life, surrounded by myself with United fans. But as of right now, it's quite enjoyable to be a City fan surrounded by United fans. Didn't used to be. Used to be hell. I remember, man, they used to all drink champagne when they won the league. I wasn't allowed a glass because I'm a City fan. I remember. Haaland! Oh, he turned a man from a long throw. Alvarez. Oh, effort from Alvarez, and it's saved by Flecken again. What's that? Save number 603 from Flecken. Can't believe Topo's in the chat. You've thrown me off, Topo, you bastard. Alvarez. And it's gone out for a throw. Right by the corner flag. I think this game's done now. Brentford had that little flurry for quite a while as well. For like 10 minutes. They were like posing a genuine threat. To the point where I was getting a bit worried. And nothing came of it. Doku. Oh, a little burst of speed. Down to the byline. Kevin De Bruyne! Oh, it's just past the post. Lovely play from Doku. Old school right wing play. Bursting past his fullback. Leaves him in his dust. Gets to the byline. Dinks one back post. Kevin De Bruyne on the side foot volley. And it's a couple of yards. Well, quite a few yards. Well, 2 or 3 yards past the post. Kind of sums up Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, it's well wide, in truth. Looking at that, really. First angle I saw looked closer than it was, but summed up Kevin's night, in truth. Not the greatest day at the office for Kevin De Bruyne. Erling Haaland's walking off the pitch. Kovacic coming on. Erling Haaland smirked on his way off the pitch. I wonder what that was. Probably a song. Drop a like on the stream. Please do. There's 360 odd of you in the building, 215 likes. That's amazing, by the way. Thanks so much for tuning in. Buzzing. So good to see so many of you watching. Brentford knocking it about at the back. I mean, outside of Phil Foden, who are you giving man of the match here? It's been a solid performance, but there's not really been anyone standing out. You know, Phil Foden sounds like the most idiotic thing to say, but he kind of had the same standard of performance as everyone else, but he scored 3 goals, so that's why it's such an idiotic thing to say. The man got a hat-trick. But, you know, there wasn't any, like, 9 out of 10s, really, outside of Phil Foden because of the 3 goals he got. There's not, like, major quality performances, but it was more than enough of a team performance today. I don't think no one really dropped below a standard that we want to see. You know, I've not really got a bone to pick with anybody today. Even Guardiola, who I've got a very strong eye on at the minute, and I'm a bit cautious about Guardiola. Certainly for bigger games than this. Like, do you think we can trust Guardiola against Liverpool and Arsenal, Champions League latter stages? I think maybe next season. Right now, he's not filling me with enough confidence that he can be perfect and I don't even need to be perfect, just no mistakes. Because even at the Burnley game, where we win 3-1, he was brilliant, Guardiola. And then in like the 93rd minute, he gets beaten so easily in a one-on-one situation, and it's 3-1 Burnley. And it was really easy to beat him. That was so frustrating because I was so prepared to give Guardiola a really good score and talk about him so positively. But he's come away with a sloppy moment, lapse in concentration that's gifted Burnley a goal. And, you know, you can't do that in the Champions League latter stages, and you can't do that against your Arsenals and your Liverpools in the second half of the season. Definitely not. Double treble is still on. Low fat, mo fat. Mate, imagine if we won treble back to back. I'd just take the 4-peat. I'm quite happy with just a Premier League this season. I'm not going to get greedy and want another treble. But that would be, excuse me, that would be an unbelievable achievement. 4-peat. 4 in a row. It's never been done in English football, let alone in the Premier League. Or so I believe. Never been done in English football. Which is outrageous. And it guarantees you 4 years of bragging rights. That's just brilliant news as a Manchester City fan. Lovely ball down the line from Ake to Guardiola. Uses his strength and then lays it off to Kovacic. The Croats linking up beautifully there. Well, Kovacic's ball made Kevin De Bruyne have to stick out a flailing leg, and it was never on. It was a poor ball from Kovacic. But City get it back through good defensive play by Ake and Guardiola combined. Yeah, we're just killing the game off now. City knocking it about. Brentford look like they've given up, to be honest. It's walking about. Game's done, I'd say. Yeah, that's very true, James. We do need to get that goal difference up, don't we? Because Liverpool is... haven't we gone equal with them in goal difference with this game? I'm sure we were 2 behind them. Like, aren't they on plus 27 and we're plus 25? If that, I might be wrong. Handball referee. No. It was outside the box, but... Got Champions League coming up next week as well, haven't we? Got a lunchtime kick-off next Saturday, and I will be doing a watch-along for that. Missing my lad's game for that. The missus has got to take my son to his football match Saturday morning, so I can do a stream for that one. City at home to Everton, then following Tuesday away to Copenhagen, who we played last season in the Champions League, and I think away we drew 1-1. So, not an easy place to go. Over the course of 2 fixtures, you like to think we should batter them at home at the Etihad. See you, Jeff, mate. Have a good one. But yeah, first leg away. Let's keep it simple. Don't lose the game. Take a draw, to be honest, because I think we'll wipe the floor with them at the Etihad. They're not good travellers, Copenhagen. Certainly not to the UK. De Bruyne looking to make it 4 here. And he's on his own, to be honest, and he's crowded out by Brentford defenders. Flecken, who's definitely been Brentford's man of the match in this game. Brilliant performance from Flecken. Kevin De Bruyne, who's on... Did he get an assist in this game? I don't think he did. Does that go down as an assist for Phil Foden's first goal? Because it was a cross that was cleared. So I don't think that counts as an assist. Was he involved in the second goal? Can't remember now. Need to watch it back. But anyway, Kevin De Bruyne is on... Nathan Ake's thinking about a shot here. Out to Guardiola. Kevin De Bruyne is on 104 assists. Ake's in. Crossed. And it's cleared by Pinnock. Kevin De Bruyne overtook Wayne Rooney with his 104th assist. He's one more than Wayne Rooney ever got, and there's plenty more time for him to get more. He's just behind Cesc Fabregas, who is in second place for the most Premier League assists ever, with 111. But he has got some catching up to do with Ryan Giggs, who is on 162 assists. But please bear in mind that Ryan Giggs has played about 7 years more of Premier League football than Kevin De Bruyne. So in terms of the greatest assist player in the Premier League history, it's hands down Kevin De Bruyne, because minutes per assist, he destroys the rest of them. But in terms of total numbers, he's third in Premier League history right now. And Rodri's giving it away here. Brentford have got a chance to make it 3-2, but that should be it. 5 minutes of injury time, so you never know. Brentford's cross is an absolutely abysmal one, but it's not away, and Kyle Walker's had to nod it out for a corner, so... Nothing silly now. Nothing silly, because we've not done well with these corners so far. Nick-nack, yeah. Did he assist the first one? Because the cross comes in, once the defender heads it, that then shuts the door on it being an assist for Kevin De Bruyne, I think. Because it wasn't deflected. When it's a cross comes in, it's away by Nathan Ake. Really good defending. Kovacic's closing down Flecken. Flecken's gone long. Kyle Walker. Kovacic was offside. If he'd got back then, Kovacic was in. Long ball. Guardiola and Ivan Toney going one-on-one. Good defending by Josko. Well done, Josko Guardiola. Ivan Toney tried to spin him, but he just positioned himself really well there, Guardiola, to get himself in front of Ivan Toney and just turn away with it, run away with the ball, and Ivan Toney doesn't even bother to track him back. I think that's the game done and dusted. 94 minutes gone. Barely 50 seconds of football remain. We play Brentford in a few weeks. 20th of February at home, Tuesday night. Doku, electric football down the left wing. City trying to make it 4 here. Slowly, mind you, but still. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Oh, this is a huge 3 points. It really is. Really is. Do not underestimate the value of this. I know it's Brentford and people say, you should be beating Brentford. But, I mean, it's that Monday night factor. Night matches are never easy, especially going away. Night games. Brentford, who were tough. There goes the full-time whistle. 3 points on the board for Manchester City. That's huge. That is absolutely massive. Really, really important 3 points. I am absolutely buzzing with that. I'm going to do my match reaction after that. Come and join me for that. Those of you that are in this stream right now, come and join me for the match reaction after this. Going to quickly go for a pee, which is the information you desperately needed, of course. As well as look back at a quick glance at the goals and, get onto that match reaction. Brilliant. 3 points. Huge. Absolutely huge. Blues, thank you so much for joining me in the chat, and everyone that's not a City fan. Even so, I really appreciate you being here nonetheless. Brilliant, brilliant. You as well, Topo. You. Good to see you, Topo, mate. I hope you're doing well. And everyone else in the chat, it's really good to see you. Come and join me for the match reaction after this. It'll be good to see you in that. And 3 points on the board. We're going to do this, boys. 4-peat. It's on the cards. See you in the next one. Take care.